Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. I'm hoping you guys are all having a fantastic day. So in today's video, we will be talking about the weather, obviously. We will be talking about this weather pattern that is bringing extreme heat to the northwest, extreme rainfall to the midwest and portions of the upper plains and the south, and even portions of the southwest. So that is definitely good news as they are stuck in a very bad drought. Some areas actually even have flood watches across Colorado, so a very interesting pattern, multifaceted, multi-faced. It is definitely a pattern that hasn't occurred in a while. It is one that has brought extremes on both ends. So before we get into this video, if you're new, hello, welcome. Obviously, consider checking out the channel first before before you subscribe, if you consider doing that. And if you're a returning viewer, liking the video, leaving a comment always helps out a ton. Even if you're a new viewer, leaving a comment, I answer to pretty much everyone on the comments below. So if you leave a comment, and probably 99% chance I will answer it. And let's get started to talk about this. So notice we have the radar of the United States of America pulled up, obviously, and into southern Canada as well. We have a lot of rain. You can see that some of the areas are very, spotty, nothing too significant. But notice right there across Colorado, do you see that little blue right there across the mountains? We are seeing a bit of snow as there is. There are some below average temperatures going on. So the extreme peaks right there, I wouldn't be, surprised if they are seeing just a little bit of snow. But yeah, there's definitely quite a bit of precipitation. There's actually a flood watch across Colorado because of the rain that could be occurring there. So yeah, definitely a welcome sight. Though again, too much isn't good. Notice are some definitely some powerful storms across New Mexico, and across the west there's nothing, and that's a concern as it's just being replaced with extreme heat. Further east, notice across the south we're seeing thunderstorms starting to erupt. The Georgia, Alabama area, Mississippi, the deep south, scattered showers, storms, nothing too significant. Notice further to the north we do have a stream of moisture just plowing through portions of Illinois, Michigan. Again, a lot of these areas have seen over 6 inches. In many areas, there's actually been double-digit amounts of rain in the last week, which, yeah, is crazy, 100%. And here in my location, we got almost in the past week, I think around, yes, close to 6 inches. So definitely just in a insane weather pattern. And notice we have some storms and some widespread light to moderate rain in some areas, very heavy across the north. This rain is super, super, super efficient. The atmosphere is just saturated beyond capabilities of holding, and that's why the rain is just so prolific and so flooding. So that's what's going on. If you're to take a look at the National Weather Service map, notice the heat right there, bringing that tons of obviously those dangerous conditions, the risks with that. I'll talk about in just a bit and show you the anomalies. Notice right there, that's a bit interesting. Haven't seen this in a while, as most of the Southwest has been in drought. Look at that, flash flood warning. And in some areas, a flash flood watch. Just a bit east of Aspen right there, the local office from Pueblo if issued flash flood watches. Notice pretty much a daily chance of showers and storms. So that's a good thing. This is the monsoon, and it definitely is an early start for the monsoon, but it looks as if it's very needed. And across New Mexico, there is also New Mexico into portions of Arizona. There's also a good chance of rain. And notice, look at that precipitation outlook, not bad, right? This is July 1st, July 2nd. Look at that. The probabilities are 60s, 70s. The dark green colors are the higher chances. It's definitely good. They need that. Just hopefully not the flooding. And notice right here we have a whole concoction. I mean, this is my local weather office, and look how many alerts there are: severe thunderstorm warnings, flash flood warnings. There were some tornado warnings even earlier across Illinois. There are some special marine warnings for the lake. There are a bunch of severe thunderstorm warnings, a flood warning, a flash flood warning, as there have been just repeated bouts of rain. And notice there's another one just moving in. So yeah, truly a remarkable event. And notice that across the west, they are dealing with the opposite of really wet conditions. They're dealing with dry conditions and extremely, extremely hot conditions. Let's take a look at just a bit west of Seattle. Look at that, 99 Fahrenheit. That is extremely hot. 102, 107. That is that's a record right there. That's like Chicago was forecasted to see around 115. The South, maybe like Georgia, probably close to like 120. Truly a remarkable anomaly in every bad way possible. A lot of people are wondering, why am I focusing on the Northwest so much with such a heat wave, and that surprises me a bit, as even though this is a concern and it's there's thunderstorms, there's tornadoes, there's flooding, it doesn't, it pales in comparison to what's going on across the Northwest. And while it's a result of that pattern, it's not necessarily the biggest focus. While yes, the rain is significant, this is, again, is takes a cake by quite a bit measure. Let's take a look at the rainfall, if we're already on the topic of that, for the past 72 hours. So again, there's been much more rain that fell here, except this is just for 72 hours. Notice Chicago right there, quite a bit of rain. Again, several amounts. A lot of locations actually reporting well over 4 to 5 inches. Look at that, just north of Kansas City. Right there, I think it was, yep, double digits, 14 inches of rain. Right there, 11 inches of rain. And that's not really overdone. That's literally how much they've seen. There was an event 2 days ago that just continued to push thunderstorms across this area. And you get that. Even across North Dakota, there's some decent rain where they are stuck in a very bad drought. So that's good. Notice that the West is getting in on some of that moisture. That's definitely good. Notice Denver right there picked up around over half an inch. So that's definitely not bad. The South has definitely been a bit drier. Look at that. The Appalachian mountains have been dry for sure. Okay, so let's take a look now at the weather models, at what's to come. So let's take a look at the anomalies. This is where the pattern really shows its true brutal side. So notice that the snow across Colorado and it peaks is to do with this pretty chilly air that is in place. Chilly, at least for this time of the year. It does snow in Colorado, and sometimes it does even snow across Yellowstone during June. There have been instances. Usually July is a month where it is usually snow free for the whole state. But I think there probably have been occurrences of extreme high altitude mountain snow in July. I wouldn't be surprised. But yeah, definitely kind of interesting to see the snow falling there. Again, it's just for very, very isolated areas. This isn't just like all of Colorado seeing snow. It's not just all mountains. Notice, so as we see this anomaly building across the west, which again I have been talking about for the past several days, and I still want to talk about it because it's continuing to go on, and it will continue to go on. There's also going to be some chilly temperatures across New Mexico, Colorado. So again, the mountain areas may see some light to even some moderate snow. Again, accumulations, I don't know if they will accumulate, but definitely cool to see frozen precip falling in June, the mid of summer. But notice, right, very cool, very, very warm. All of British Columbia, if I were to extend this across into the region of North America, notice that we were to see, sorry about that, my mouse is stopping to work there. Look at that. That's a extreme anomaly, and if you're to look at the temperatures, well, they may not be too impressive, 90, 97. This isn't the South. This is very unusual for the Northwest. And actually, it could, Washington and British Columbia could be sharing the hottest temperatures across the whole continent in some days. I mean, the whole North American continent, even portions of Central and Northern America. Yeah, I mean, look at that right there. That's just truly a not good news. 104.99 almost into Nantucket and Nunavut and into portions of Yukon. Yeah, that's definitely hot temperatures. And look, that continues. Look at this. This is now 120 hours out, which is still extremely high anomalies. This may seem like very cool compared to what was there. That's still way above average. I mean, yes, the anomaly isn't as significant as these colorings. It's still warm, though. And notice that continues for a while. It is cool across the rest of the United States and extreme northern Canada, which I guess is a silver lining. A lot of the people will be dealing with heat will, be kind of suffering for those that will be dealing with nice temperatures across the rest of the U.S. So you really will be having to, be appreciative of what you're having the next few days across the east and really the rest of the United States. But notice that heat does kind of subside later on across the 200-hour timeline, and this is where we start running out of time with this weather model. It's just the new one coming in. Takes us through around 270 hours, but it does take some breaks right there. You can see a bit spotty, and look, the heat's still there, centered across the north, but it does start sliding to the south a bit. And if you were to take a look at the previous model run that was 6 hours older, it continues to show cool weather across this, the east and the south, but definitely that heat across the northwest kind of subsides, and we finally could actually see what a more typical day would look like in terms of temperatures, just to give you a comparison of how hot it is, the 100 degrees, because I know for some folks across the south that may not seem like a lot, but most people there don't have air conditioning because they don't ever need it. That is that's a chilly, I would say just slightly below average temperature, kind of occurrence across the northwest. 76, 71, right? Seattle 60, or that's just south of Seattle, 63. And this upcoming Sunday, look at these temperatures right here. Yeah, that is just not good, right? It is good news that towards the end there are some signs of relief, and notice a lot of these temperatures right here. That's a normal temperature right there for them, 50s, 40s. It's usually chilly up here, especially towards the mountains. It could be below freezing at nights. And notice that does happen across some areas. But during that heat wave this upcoming weekend, look at that, 100s, 115, 121. Most definitely record for that state if that were to occur, which again is looking to be more and more likely to occur. This is the high range model. The NAM only goes out to 84 hours. Again, showing exact same things. Look at that, Seattle 108 on Monday night. Truly a stunning occurrence. And look at that, 111, 108 across western portion or eastern portions of Washington. Definitely not a good thing to be looking at. This is actually just 30 hours out, as you can see. So let's just go to the previous model. Yeah, not much addition. I mean, you could see literally nothing pretty much. That's a few hundredths of an inch, kind of just the weather model's inaccuracy most likely. Maybe across a few spotty areas, a thunderstorm or two could show up. But generally, this is a inflow, or it's going to be a shortage of moisture. And where that moisture will fall is across portions of the Southwest. Look at that. That could bust a lot of areas completely out of the drought. Well, maybe not completely, but significantly help if you were to receive 5 to 6 inches. Now, hopefully this doesn't fall at once, but if over an extended period of time, that could definitely help out. It would be, nice if this could fall across more Nevada, Utah, California as well. You will be seeing some rainfall. At least it's some, and it's not going to make the drought most likely worse. But at least it's going to keep it there or make it a bit better. And you can see this has been consistent with the weather models. This is the one from the morning, and you can see it's favoring these areas. There's obviously quite a bit of differencing between each model run, but I would say that they have gotten more bullish over the past several model runs, and this latest one doesn't show yet. But that's the GFS. This is a Canadian model, a relatively good model. Only goes out to 240 though, so that's way less than a GFS. Still shows in the next 10 days up to 2 to 3 to 4 inches across portions of New Mexico into Arizona, 1 to 2 inches across many locations. Definitely not bad. Sierra Nevada picking up on some much needed rainfall, maybe even some snow in the extremely high elevated areas. So that's a Canadian. Again, notice this was previous model run. It kind of kept up with that bullish pattern. Look, Colorado seeing quite a bit of rains. So that is definitely good news. Let's take a glance now at the European. This is definitely a good model. And what it shows, you can see that just that daily chance of those pop-up storms. They don't really occur during the night as much. You can see some, especially where the moisture is very dense, they could. But during the day, it could spread, as far north as Utah. Unfortunately, not much relief for the Northwest, but at least the Southwest is getting on some of that moisture, and the reservoirs hopefully won't be able to run completely dry. But let's take a look at that total accumulated precipitation, because you'll be surprised by how much it puts out. Look at that, up to 8 and 9 inches in some areas. Even some areas in southern Utah picking up to an inch and a half. Rather isolated and scattered. And look at that, it's very dry. That's not good news. But look at Mexico, 2 inches, 3 inches. The portions of Sierra Madre, 4 inches. And the eastern United States favor. The northern plains also kind of drying out again, unfortunately. So that's not good. But again, this is still a bit far out, so this could still change. Get pushed either direction, hopefully more towards the north and west, rather than the east, as a lot of these locations don't need it here. The south here, maybe they do, as it's been drier, but the plains not as much. But the northern plains, into the west, they definitely need that rain. So yeah, that's definitely the conclusion. A very aggressive weather pattern. Either very heavy rains in one location. These locations saw so much rain, and it could be picking up again, 6 more inches of rain in some areas. And if not, if that's not the case, then it's the heat that's just, horrendous across the Northwest with little to no relief. This is 240 hours out. Notice, still way above average. That's still considered a heat wave, but it's a more typical heat wave with, anomalies not being as significant. Look at that. That's a heat wave. And it's still, in some locations, 70 to 80 degrees. And again, the hundreds that will be occurring are that's just insane. I mean, truly, these colors are just not, they don't belong here. That's the truth. They just don't, which is obviously a very bad indication of what's been kind of going on in the past. Trends of this weather has been becoming more extreme, and yeah, I mean, truly, you could see, even look at that, Tuesday, this is during the day, 100, 104. This is again more tolerable. Still very, very hot, but at least it's not, reaching towards 120 in some areas, which is possible. Look at that, 114. Again, even the Southwest won't be that warm. It could be warmer across the Northwest and the Southwest, which is very rare and doesn't occur often. So, especially with that little rain, the drought will be getting worse. Probably wildfires, homes will be endangered. Definitely not good news. Not good news. But you got to find a silver lining in everything. And I guess the silver lining is that some of the Southwest will be, forced to see that moisture, as the high pressure here will just kind of drive that to the south. But a lot of these locations don't really need that much moisture at once, and some of them, as you saw, could be getting 8 to 9 inches across New Mexico in a short amount of time, leading to some flash flooding. But yeah, the Midwest also seeing just a remarkable amount of rainfall, which isn't really that welcomed at this point. Maybe further to the north, but yeah, just very wet. So yeah, it's been a long time since, sorry about that, I've seen such a colorful map in terms of the pinks, the magentas, and just how much has been going on across the portions of the Midwest. And look at that, severe thunderstorm watches almost every single day. Definitely a interesting and extreme pattern. So yeah, that is basically it for today's video. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned to your local National Weather Service about these tornado warnings, potential these tornado watches. As you can see, there are some tornado warnings across Michigan. There's actually one right across Flint. And then, obviously, if you're across the Northwest, stay hydrated, stay cool. It's hopefully not going to last too awfully long, but again, it's not the best forecast. So, yeah, I can't really cheer you up on that one. And if you live across the West, the Southwest, be careful. Flash flooding is possible. That could, the mountainous, hilly terrain is just perfect for that, especially since it hasn't rained in a while. So, the ground is parched in many areas and just runs free instead of percolating through the soil, which is really what you would want. All right, thank you so much for watching. I'll catch you all guys in the next episode. See ya.